If you're trying to figure out what the difference between a short sale and a pre-foreclosure, this video is for you. These are great ways to find properties at a deep discount if you are a new real estate investor looking to start flipping or wholesaling houses. In this video, I'm going to define what a pre-foreclosure and a short sale is, and then give you the key differences between each one and the benefits of investing in them. Hello y'all, my name is Stacey Johnson, and I went from negative $30,000 on my first flip to over $300,000 in net profit from flipping and wholesaling houses in 2023. I actually show people exactly how I do this in my free guide that you can download in the link in the description below. And I even do webinars explaining the step-by-step process every single month. Sign up at the link in the description below to be on that next webinar. Let's get right into it. So first things first, what is a short sale? A short sale occurs when a homeowner is facing financial distress. Typically, this homeowner needs to sell their property for less than what is owed on the property. So if, for example, let's say I owe $100,000 on my property, but the market value of what the property is worth is only $50,000. And if I go sell it, I'm unable to go pay off the mortgage because I'm selling it for less than what is owed on the property. Typically, this happens in a downturn of a market. For example, the last 2 years in COVID, prices were going up and up and up and crazy up, and everyone was wanting to buy properties because interest rates were at an all-time record low from 2 to 3%, and they were just trying to lock in their low monthly payment. They didn't care how much they were going to buy this property for. Let's say somebody with a VA loan, 0% down, went to go buy that property 2 years ago. The military is making them leave, and now they need to sell their property. Well, guess what? The property values have since then tanked, and from a year ago, even just a year ago, we've dropped in single family value homes over $100,000. So somebody who bought for $1.1 million is now having to sell for $1 million or less. In that case, they would have to go through what's called a short sale for less than what is owed on the property. When a homeowner finds themselves in this predicament, they can pursue a short sale instead of a foreclosure on their property. In this case, the lender will accept the smaller amount and forgive the debt that is owed, even though it's more than what they sell for. Here are some key characteristics of a short sale. Number one is financial distress. The homeowner is in financial distress and they are unable to pay for the mortgage anymore. Number two, mortgage balance exceeds the market value of the property. This is super important and pretty much what defines a short sale. Number three, negotiation with the lender. Because you owe more than what the lender is owed, you have to negotiate with the lender to figure out how much they're willing to accept for the property given that the market has tanked. And number four, this is a complex and lengthy process. You can imagine negotiating with a bank can be a very lengthy process because they're going to try to get as much as they can for the property. Number five, potential for discounted purchase. This presents a great opportunity for real estate investors like myself to buy properties at a deep enough discount because you're able to negotiate with the bank for how much you actually want to pay. Now on the other side, let's discuss what a pre-foreclosure is. A pre-foreclosure refers to the initial process of the whole foreclosure process. This is typically triggered when a homeowner is behind on their mortgage payments. At this time, the lender has initiated the foreclosure process, but it doesn't mean that they have already taken ownership of the property itself. In this case, the homeowner still has title and has the opportunity to either sell it before the foreclosure actually happens or catch up all the payments due and continue paying for the payments. Here are some key characteristics of a foreclosure. Number one is mortgage delinquency. The homeowner has stopped paying payments for a very long time, allowing the mortgager to call the note due by initiating this foreclosure process. The lender has already issued a notice of default to the homeowner, saying that they haven't been paying for their mortgage. Number two, homeowners have the opportunity to resolve the delinquency. This means they can either pay up all the payments or they can sell the property. That way that they don't go into foreclosure and have pretty bad credit and all these dings on their credit report for going into foreclosure. Now it's kind of confusing because you can almost mix the two together. In this last part of this video, I'm going to talk about the difference between the two. Now, when you're going through a pre-foreclosure process, you can be doing the short sale process. For example, let's say I stop paying for my mortgage payments and the lender has issued me a notice of default. This means that they have initiated the pre-foreclosure process. During this pre-foreclosure process, I figure figure out that what is owed on the property is more than what is actually the market value of what I can sell the property for. So let's say, again, I owe $100,000 on this property, but I can only sell for $50,000. I've already missed more than 6 months of payments on this mortgage. The lender has issued me a notice of default, and now I'm having to figure out what are my different options in order to make sure I don't get the negative consequences of a foreclosure. What I decide to do is I decide to go through the short sale process. I know I need to sell this property on the market as soon as possible before the foreclosure process is ending. So what I can do is I can initiate the short sale process and start negotiating with the lender to let them know, hey, I'm going to sell this property, but I need my debt to be less than $100,000. I can only sell it for $50,000. Plus I have to pay realtor commissions. So at best, I'm probably going to be able to give you $35,000. Would you guys be willing to take that? So that's where you can kind of blend the two, but key differences in a short sale versus a pre-foreclosure process include, number one, ownership status. In a pre-foreclosure, the owner still owns the property and is able to sell it to an investor, or they're able to resolve the delinquency themselves. In a short sale, they are initiating the process to actually sell the property on the open market to resolve the debt to the lender. Number two is the involvement of the lender. In a pre-foreclosure process, the lender has already initiated the notice of default and the foreclosure process and is trying to work with the homeowner to see how they can resolve this issue, this delinquency, but they continue the foreclosure process, and if they're unable to resolve the delinquency, then the mortgager will accept the property at the end and hold an auction. Whereas on the other end with a short sale, the lender is involved heavily because you guys are negotiating to settle the debt. In this case, the property is listed on the open market, and whatever that ends up selling for, that's what the lender is going to accept for the forgiveness of the debt. Number three is just the financial outcome. Typically in a pre-foreclosure process, the homeowner wants to keep the home. They're trying to figure out how they can keep the home and resolve the delinquency. Whereas in a short sale process, they've already decided that they're going to sell the home. They have to sell it on the open market in order to resolve the debt with the lender. Here's a couple reasons why you should consider investing in pre-foreclosures and short sales as a new investor. Number one is opportunity for negotiation. In a pre-foreclosure, you're negotiating directly with the homeowner. This is a very motivated seller who needs to sell, so you're able to get their property at a steep enough discount for it to make sense. This gives you more flexibility to structure the deal so that it's a win-win scenario for both parties. Number two, potential for below market purchases. These homeowners are very distressed, and in that case, they're willing to sell their property for a steep enough discount. I'm buying a property right now that's going through the pre-foreclosure process for $365,000. This same property is going to be worth $850,000 to $900,000 once it's fixed up. Somebody who is not in distress is not willing to sell their property for that deep of a discount, but in this pre-foreclosure or a short sale process, they are more in distress and are willing to accept a lower offer. The third benefit is that there's less competition. If in a pre-foreclosure process, you're typically the one dealing directly with the homeowner and it's not usually listed on the market. These properties are not exposed to tons and tons of buyers like a short sale process, so this gives you an opportunity to get a good deal. Now here's one last tip for you guys. In order for you guys to find pre-foreclosures, this is actually all public records. You can go to the county's clerk office for foreclosure listings. Many jurisdictions make foreclosure information publicly available so that you can go and target these homeowners to see if they're looking to sell. Hope that helped. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video. Aloha. Shoots!